What's happening, my stock paper chasers out there? This is Boss Ross coming from you live from YouTube. If you're a first time person to the channel, please make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell and turn on all notifications, and make sure everyone out there, new subscribers and current subscribers, that you hit the like every time you come to my video if you like what you like, so I can make sure that I'm getting enough hits for you guys to come back and share some more of these videos. Now, the market been a little bit crazy the last few days, but again, we talking about millionaire mindset, right? So we're not gonna jump out the gate every time when the stock market opens, right? Because we in here for that long paper, that generational wealth paper, right? It don't come overnight. If you feel like playing the lottery, go out there, play that $2 in a lottery Powerball ticket, see if it come your way, right? Do it stop you from playing the Powerball when you don't hit those numbers? You ain't got to answer the question. If you play them numbers, I know you keep playing until you feel like you can win. Same thing with the stock market, but your money a little more stable here actually than stock market. Your odds are better if you look at it overall, because we playing the long game where that's a short game. So just want to give you some knowledge on that millionaire mindset, right? It's about perspective and how you think, the rationale, how you making moves, trying to maximize your dollar. I'm not going to be before you long, but I got two bangers I want to put in your portfolio if you care to have it in your portfolio. And the reason why they're going to be bangers, because it's playing off of the infrastructure that's going on right now. It's playing off electric vehicles that's going to be going on in the future and things of that nature, right? So the first one I got is called Hudbay Minerals Incorporated, right? Hudbay Minerals Incorporated, right? Minerals, there you go. So what they produce, they produce stuff like copper and iron and ore and things of that nature there, right? The reason why I'm really fond of this stock is because, one, they produce a lot of copper. A lot of copper is going to be used and needed for electric vehicles as the future progresses, right? Wiring use copper. Radiators use copper. AC units use copper. Water heaters use copper. I mean, you name it. It's a lot of things that copper is used for. A lot of people don't think about. So why is that important, right? Water faucets, right? The piping, it uses that copper, right? Here's why that's important. The infrastructure. They're talking about rebuilding stuff, whether that be bridges or buildings or railroad tracks or what have you. Anything that deals with infrastructure, there's a possibility that this is going to be copper needed for some of those things. So this is a bigger journey. That's why I say this is a long-term stock, right? So keep that in mind. Now, insiders have been buying this stock, so they love the stock. They got earnings coming May 11th, which the expectation of our analysts is that they're going to actually top earnings expectations. That's what they saying, right? Keep that in mind. They're expanding in various areas, trying to get more copper produced. So expanding means that the business is driving and people are buying their product. So that's a good thing right there, right? The share price has grown over 230%, which is awesome year over year. 230% is great. So keep that in mind. Also, based on the way analysts and expectations are saying about the market, the economists, they're thinking high-grade copper and gold is expected to increase from 2022 to 2025. So there's that copper thing again. Remember, that's at 2022 to 2025. So that's why I say long-term, because it goes to 2025. So you still got some time to get into the stock, let that thing multiply on you, right? Get some good money. They just had two analysts upgrade the stock. So analysts are in the right place. There was no downgrade, but there were two upgrades. So all that being said, all that collectively together, I think this is why this is going to be a great stock. Also, on top of it, the stock pays a dividend. So if you buy the stock, it pays a dividend. Stock's been up. The stock was up 52 cents today. It was up, I believe, 7 cents yesterday. So it's been up like 14% just in 2 days. In my opinion, nobody's selling this before earnings, because the expectations for them to beat earnings, and it been running up so much, 220, 5%. I think it's going to continue to go higher. And then after that, the long term, keep it in mind. I'm trying to fill you up with some things. Now, if you check this out, if you look at this right here, this graphic, this is from United States during 2019. Now, when you look at this graphic and look at the different areas that copper is used in, think of this. This was from 2019. Remember, EVs were not heavy in 2019. EVs are going to be heavy going forward. Infrastructure is going to be going forward. So copper wasn't really utilized to the maximum extent that it would be now. The price of copper is considerably raising all the time, so they can charge more and get more money for for the copper. So there you have it. That graphic shows you right there that where's that in 2019, 2022, we're in 2021. So keep that in mind. Now, next one I'm talking about, same thing. It's a copper play. It's a much cheaper stock, like 3.5, 4 times cheaper, right? And Taseko Mines Limited, right? Now, everything that I just said about the first stock, it applies to the same stock here with some little bit differences, because of course 2 different companies manage differently, doing somewhat different things. But that thesis I gave you, it's all the same, right? They reported earnings yesterday and they actually beat earnings. The expectation was for them to break even, and they beat earnings, which is great, which means the price of copper that they, putting out there, producing, the revenues are coming in, which is great. Now, this is what the CEO said. Russell Halbar said yesterday when he did the earnings announcement, right? Strong earnings in the first quarter were supported by a steadily rising copper price, which reached its highest price in a decade and sits today at about $4.50 US per pound. The highest price in a decade. And we not even got to the real bulk of EVs actually being really produced and put on the market. Mind you, they got the chip, so they can't produce. When the chip come into play and they need the vehicles to produce, and the copper is going to be there, the supply and demand. Everybody going to need this copper. Know what companies that make copper going to do? They're going to raise the prices up. It hasn't been like this in a decade. So it's only going to get better, when you're talking about the copper. Now, they're also expanding operations too. So again, supply and demand. Copper prices have recovered swiftly since March 22 and are reaching multi-year highs due to recovery in Chinese demand coupled with continued supply disruptions, notably in South America. Many governments are now focused on increased infrastructure investment to stimulate economic recovery after the pandemic, including green initiatives, which will require new primary suppliers of copper. Most industry analysts are projecting ongoing supply constraints and deficits, which should support higher copper prices in the years to come. Boom, there you go once again. Same thing this company is saying, the other company is saying in the copper space. So mineral space is what they in, copper, that's what it's all about. Now, I already told you to look at FCX, Freeport McMoRan. I told you that yesterday. CLF, Cleveland Cliffs, I told you about that. Alcoa, AA, I told you about that. I've been dropping bangers all week. And if you look at it, Alcoa and Cleveland Cliffs, they went up by I think $2 and some change on one and $1 on the other. That morning I put it in the Stock Paper Chasers Facebook room. It went up, and then FCX, the CEO, was on CNBC. So the emphasis is on this copper more than just my eyes with those eyes, but I like getting you guys in on the low end so you can make multiples over multiples. Boom, that's your boy Boss Ross finishing up with that. Again, I appreciate you coming to the channel. Keep your mind on your money and your money on your mind. We out here trying to win some things out here, right? Long term, longevity, right? Send your friends and family to the channel. Let them subscribe. New people, thanks for being here. Please like the videos. Please make any comments. You see I answer comments. And if there's something out there you want me to talk about, let me know and I'll see what I can do. At the end of the day, we trying to win. Stock Paper Chasers, all about that money. It ain't funny. This your boy, you already know, Boss Ross, signing off saying I appreciate you and I see you out there making that money. Be easy. Deuces.